guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming with another video review. And here it is. Finally, we're going to be taking a look at the new Combiner Wars, either Optimus Maximus or Omega Prime, whichever you really want to look at. I guess if you're going to use this version of Optimus, I guess he's more specifically called Omega Prime. Whereas if you use the white and gold repaint of him, that one is the Optimus Maximus. Either way, it doesn't matter because it's basically the same center body. But here they all are. We got Ironhide, Sunstreaker, obviously Optimus, Mirage, and Prowl. Now, like I talked about in my review of these four figures, I'm going to show you the combined form here, with each of these figures being an arm or a leg. Because the transformation is exactly the same, it's going to be pretty quick and easy, because I'm not going to focus on that transformation. It is available, we've seen it many times already, so I don't really think we need to focus on the transformation. And as I talked about, they can be arms or legs, and I'm going to show you that so you'll get a full look at how each of these figures can look in their different configurations. So without further ado, let's get started. And with a real quick snap of the fingers, here we have one configuration for this guy, that being Ironhide as a leg, Sunstreaker as an arm, obviously Optimus as the torso, Mirage as one of the other legs, and the other arm being Prowl. And basically it is the exact same procedure, but for some reason on mine, the legs don't like clipping in. I mean, his go in perfectly fine, but then when I come to Mirage here, this is really very stiff to get this in there, so I gotta wiggle this a little and kind of force that in. It doesn't go all the way, and if it doesn't go all the way, then the legs are going to be off-centered, and actually that it still seems like it's a little bit off. It's like this section here is not as far down. You can see that this little piece looks like it's up a little bit more, so I don't know, that's probably the best I'm going to get it, but kind of get this up, get his head out of the way. So you do have to have a little bit of finesse when you're doing it, at least on mine for some reason, but you can get his legs, but you can see they are a little off-centered, and like one of them is a little bit longer than the other. So again, like I said, I don't think that this is collapsed all the way up like it's supposed to be, so it's kind of a pain in the butt, to be totally honest with you. I'm not a big fan of it, but I'm just gonna angle this and get this standing as best as I can. But again, it's just not positioning all that well, so let me angle it a little bit more. So there you have his legs, and in doing all that, I also detach this, so get that right back there. And then you just take this guy, put this right down just like so, there, and then do the same thing on this side. So it is exactly what you would expect. The design is the same. I like taking these and fold these forward, but there you have the Omega Prime, and honestly, I mean, I don't think he looks all that bad. He's weird, don't get me wrong, mostly because I'm not used to seeing Optimus Prime or any of the Autobots looking like this. And yeah, basically what you have is just the Stunticons. So for comparison, setting him here on the side, here you have him next to Menasor. And again, it really is, I mean, this does have the Wild Rider figure, so it is a little bit different, but basically it's the same thing. And obviously I have the Stunticon's legs reversed. That's just my personal preference on what I like. So it does give this guy a little bit different of a look, but size-wise, you can see it is basically the exact same. For his articulation, it is, again, the same, and I'm gonna just move my camera in just a little bit. One of the problems, though, is depending on the configuration that you do choose, it can get a little bit limited. As you can see, that can rotate perfectly fine. It can move in and out, but these little side panels here kind of get caught on these side panels, so you do have to be careful when you're moving things around. So you do get that nice range of motion. The head is on a ball joint, although it does look kind of ugly in the fact that there's like a big ugly gap there. You come down to what basically are his elbows. He's got kind of two elbow joints because they are his legs. They also do rotate, but again, things kind of get in the way of each other, and that's again kind of unfortunate. Rotates at the wrist. That's just pegged in there, so you guys know how that goes, getting these out of the way. The hips can move forward and back. Again, this is just not a very stable combiner. Like I said, it's kind of unfortunate that his legs don't seem to match up. I just can't figure out why it doesn't slide all the way up. It's kind of weird how that is. But you can kind of move it back. I mean, he's kind of got hips right there. You can bend here at the knee. It also can rotate at the knee. So it can get some decent poses. You can get some pretty solid looks with the guy, but he is fairly heavy, so he's going to look a little strange in some poses. Although this looks pretty cool. I actually kind of dig this look. But as I said, you can have really kind of any configuration. This is probably my favorite looking, but these guys can be legs and these guys can be arms. So switching things up a little bit, and again with another snap of the wrist, and now we have another configuration. And I'm really kind of stupid because the reason why the leg didn't work for him was because I forgot to actually move this up. So I'm curious to see how many people are actually going to catch me on that, and without watching the whole video start complaining. That it's going to be really kind of amusing for me. But just sliding this back on there, and now you have this configuration for him. And I mean, again, this doesn't look bad. It's just, you know, a matter of personal preference. I don't particularly like this. I mean, you could lift these up and kind of hide that little gap. And honestly, I still did this wrong because I didn't extend the arm, man, but whatever. But I mean, it's, like I said, it's personal preference, what you like for your look. I personally think that in this type of configuration, with Optimus Prime and the Autobots, I think that Mirage and Ironhide look a little bit better as legs, where Sunstreaker and Prowl, I think, look a little bit better as the arms, and this does not like staying tabbed together at all. But I mean, like I said, it's all personal preference. For me, because Omega Prime is not a character that I have any sort of interest in or attachment to or whatever, I really have no purpose for this. But that's just me. In terms of kids, I think they're going to have a lot of fun with this in terms of being able to mix and match, kind of create their own Autobot or Decepticon combiner. I think it's really cool, and I think that a lot of us reviewers really kind of forget that aspect about this, that it's not necessarily meant for us. So based on that, I mean, I do like how it is. I think, like I said, kids are really going to enjoy this. For me, though, I just don't really have much of a place for this in my display shelf. I will say, though, of all of these figures, Mirage will find its place on my classic shelf. I just think he has a better look than that original classic Mirage figure. But for me, that's just personal preference. Now, all these figures are currently available, so if you're interested in them, good luck and happy hunting. I have not yet seen the white and gold version of Optimus out there yet, so if that's the one that you want to use for this combiner, I don't know when that's going to be coming out. But as always, if any of these figures are ones that you want to pick up, there's always Big Bad Toy Store. So all you have to do is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to BBTS where you can check out availability on this and other Transformer figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus, and until next time, I'll talk to you later.